Hello, fax staff. Today I'm going to be showing you how to ticket in Procentive. Ticketing is a way of sending documents, for instance, to your supervisor for their review or signature. And it's also a way of communicating on a project that may be occurring between two employees within the agency. And so I'm going to give you an understanding of how to do that, and I'm going to show you the two ways that it's typically done. The first one is through the ticketing module. So you can see here in my settings here, I'm in ticketing, and I'm just going to hit the help button over here. And again, this help button operates differently than help as usual. Typically you hit a hit button, or you hit the help button, and it'll bring up some things you would enter to search. This, when you hit help, actually in any part of Procentive, it will bring up ticketing. So in this case, we're going to title this. Let's say I want to talk to Sarah McGee on a project. So I will title this, well, actually for this, I'll put test DA. Due date, usually you want to put this out at least at a reasonable. We'll say it's due in about a week. That'll be on the 19th. Priority level, usually don't want to put crisis level. If it's high, for instance, you need a DA done in order to bill services, you may want to put that as high. Most other projects would probably rate as a medium to your supervisor, but again, make sure you talk explicitly with them about that. So let's say we'll just place this as a medium. The status automatically defaults to new, which is great. You can see the drop down here as work continues in this project. You can put different responses to update what's been going on in there. And I'm just going to put blah, blah, blah in here. Usually you'll put notes in here about what you want the other person to know about the project. For instance, if you're sending in something for signature, you could say initial draft done, please review, make corrections, and or sign, or something like that. Then here's the important part. You're going to have to add people on this. So let's say this again is something between Sarah and I. I'm going to go to this pick list. I'm going to find Sarah McGee here. I'm going to actually, myself and Sarah are both on here, and click OK. And then so there'll be both of us on this. And just hit save. And I'm going to hit refresh on this, and we should see, right, so this came up. I'll open it up just to make sure everything is correct on it. Oh, for some reason it added me, but it didn't add Sarah. So I'm going to ensure that happens. So I'm going to go back to Sarah McGee, hit that, click OK, and click add. And see how she was just added there? So now if I'm wanting this ticket to go to Sarah, I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to hit save. Now you can see over here, see how it's waiting on the far right hand side, waiting on Sarah McGee. So Sarah, this has been ticketed to Sarah. She's going to respond to it. And I'm going to open this up and show you how information is passed back and forth. So let's say Sarah looked at it and she sent me a comment. Obviously, we can't do that here, but I'm just going to say, so I approve of the plan, period, and just put add comment. So I'll add the comment. And here's the important part. If I was, let's say this was previously assigned to me, and I want Sarah to get this ticket, I'm going to click her, make sure I'm unclicked, and then hit save again. And that will task it to her. The one thing you need to know about this is that make sure you put your comments here, in here, before you switch it to Sarah. If you hit Sarah first and then put comments in here, it won't save it as being tasked to Sarah. So always assign reassign the ticket after you put any comments in. You can also edit this. For instance, you could put I approve the plan greatly or whatever you wanted to add to it. Just update the comment by add comment and it will resave. Let's do that. So I'll just put greatly. And then re-add that and notice it'll just change up here. And then make sure you hit save. And then that will again resend it to Sarah. And notice here, waiting on Sarah. The other way you can ticket is through an actual document. So I just pick this document here. Let's say this is a DA you're working on. You want to task it to your supervisor. You use the same piece here. Go down to help. Click on that. And we'll call this review of TTDA. Well, if it's a DA, maybe we want to do this relatively soon, so we task it out to the 17th. We'll put it as a high priority. New, all that's good. And we could put review for content or corrections. And then I'm going to make sure add, let's say I'm going to put Mike on this, Mike here. Where are you, Mike? There we go. Click OK. And actually, I'm going to span this because I'm going to make sure that that gets added. Notice how he's added. Now I'm going to also make sure I'm on there. Also add that to ticket. So let's say he's tasking this to me. So he would check my name there and hit save. So we'll go back to ticketing and refresh that. And notice that the DA is showing up here as an attached document. So I could just, if I just click on that hyperlink, it'll open directly into the diagnostic assessment. So let's say I've reviewed this, so I'm going to open the ticket, just double click on the ticket. I'm going to add the comment. Everything looks good. Be sure SDQ data is in the DA. And I'm going to click add comment. And then, only then, am I going to send this now to Mike. So if I hit save, it'll actually go to him. So notice now I'm waiting on Mike to look at the project and review the things he needs to. For instance, maybe he needs to add the DA, or I'm sorry, add the SDQ on the DA before I'll sign it. I would make a note like that. So that's really as easy as it is. And then I'll show you how to close out a ticket. So let's say this has been all reviewed, all done. I usually send something back like said, DA is signed, please close out ticket. You just go to status here and we'll go to complete and hit save and boom, it's gone. It disappears. I'm going to get rid of this one too since this was a fake one. And the same thing, I'm going to hit complete and it will remove those tickets from the active list. Now I could actually, if I click this, it's going to show me all my completed tickets. So I could search for that ticket even though it's already completed if there was some question that came up later. So that's really as simple as it is. I will note one more thing. There is a box here of send to Procentive. For most staff, you would never check that. In fact, really, you should be informing your supervisor if it's a percent issue that is something they need to know about and your supervisor can issue a ticket directly to Procentive. Please don't ever check send to Procentive on your own. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please look at the written document related to this, and we'll talk to you again soon.